Hello, my name's Ajay and you're watching The Defining Moment for Creating the Culture of Conscience. Today we welcome back Mr. Ramanuja Das. Mr. Das is a minister of religion and a preacher at the Bhakti Vedanta Mana Hare Krishna Temple of Watford. He joins us now to talk about religion and youth. Well, Mr. Das, thank you very much for joining us again on The Defining Moment.
Hare Krishna.
Well, today's topic is religion and youth, and my first question is, how do you as a movement, as the International Society of Krishna Consciousness, educate your youth? And in fact, how do you even think about educating the youth of the world?
Youth plays a very important role in the society. If our young children learn from the childhood the value of life, they can give a very nice society to the world. Today's youth is tomorrow's society. If our children learn the culture and the value of life, then they can weave nice harmony in the society, peace and harmony in the society. This which we are seeing, we are experiencing all over the world, that our society is in a big chaos. And actually, it's very unfortunate news I actually heard about 2 weeks ago. They said that in England, the children in England, you may have heard this news too, children in England are more depressed and more unhappy. You aware of that?
Yeah, I heard a recent UNICEF report that that said that our youth are actually the worst off.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, I can give you some example what we are doing because when Prabhupada went to America, a lone old man with no money, with no friends, no relatives, a 69 years old Indian person just trying to preach Krishna consciousness. Most of that time there was a craze for drugs, the hippies craze, 1960s, it was a hippies craze. So when Prabhupada went and he told them, actually you are looking for happiness in drugs, happiness does not lie in drugs, it lies somewhere else. Because as explained in previous few meetings with you, and that how we belongs to Krishna, and originally we belongs to Krishna, and unless we establish our relationship with Krishna, we cannot be happy. It's like a child, till he is away from his father, no matter how hard he tries, well, somebody can say he can start a business and blah blah, but the really thing is that father is so rich that the child should be, when he goes back, he can be happy. So when Prabhupada was in 1965, when he went to America, he saw these children were 18, 19, 20 years old children. They were young children. And Prabhupada trained them in Krishna consciousness. And then they left drugs and they became big sadhus. That does not mean all of were some hippies. Some of them were. That was another bad propaganda we had come up in the Hare Rama and Hare Krishna film came up. And but that was a bad propaganda. But actually Prabhupada said, well, let them do propaganda, it's good for us. Because when the people will come and live with us, then they will see how strictly we are following Krishna consciousness. It is good for the long term. Now, 1965, when Prabhupada went, and he really picked up this preaching in 1966, first year he struggled. But when he convinced these children, and these children took this philosophy of Krishna consciousness, they were free from drugs, free from all other intoxications, and they followed this philosophy of Hare Krishnas. And actually once Prabhupada met one priest and he asked him, he said, well, we are preaching God conscious, but how come whenever I see these young boys and girls of Hare Krishna, they are born Americans, but they look very happy. And then Prabhupada explained to them, this is the effect of Krishna, this is how Krishna conscious makes you happy. So We have got 3 gurukuls. Prabhupada, like in ancient India, in Vedic culture, we used to have a gurukul. School name used to be gurukul. You train under gurukul, then you enter brahmachari life, which is student life, till the age of 25. Then you add grasta life, married life, and then you, after 25 years married life, then you take vanaprastha, then you take sannyas. That's a different,
So that was youth as a student, being
Yes,
single.
yes.
Then 25 years of married
Life.
And then what happens next?
Then he takes vanaprastha, he goes to forest, he travels, and he goes to holy places to establish, because Vedic culture means that the whole thing, life revolves towards spiritual activities. So, and after that he renounced this and takes sannyas. So if children are trained in the values, so practically they first 25 years they learn the value of education, the value of Vedic literature. So then they are very good asset to the society. And so we have started 3 gurukuls, not 3, well we got more now. Initially it was started 3. There was a gurukul in Dallas, gurukul in Vrindavan, gurukul in Mayapur. So we have got these gurukuls. So children come, and at the age of 5 and they study until the age of 16.
And they follow a curriculum, or they follow
Yes.
just religious teaching?
No, we are following the whole national curriculum of this country. Even like in Vrindavan, we are teaching the old GSE standards which we teach in England, and lots of our children who joined Gurukul in Vrindavan at the age of 5, and they study till the age of 16, where they study Vedic literature, Bhagavad Gita and all of the scriptures. And along with that, they study normal education, GCSEs. So lots of students has come out of our gurukuls, and they go and they have joined the different universities. Like just recently, we had 2 of our children. They did not study actually in Gurukul, but they studied it in America. One, a nice Indian gentle family, devotees. So they trained their children from the childhood. And both of the children, they have done PhDs in Oxford universities, and and now they are well qualified. So that we have this is a very important, because we see that today's children need some values, and otherwise we end up seeing children are going for drugs, children are going for violence, children are going for illicit sex, criminal activities. Like even in England, there are so many. I don't know the name they use. The one name is community sport officer.
Yes, a community sport.
The reason they are doing these sort of things is to protect their youth. But this is really, if you want to protect the youth, then you have to give them Krishna consciousness, and that we have done time to time. In Krishna conscious philosophies, we are preaching. We have got a youth community in our own, even in England. It is called ISKCON Pandav Sena. So these children are our children who are studying in actually in the universities, and they study the normal education, and they come to these programs of Hare Krishnas, and they learn about it, and they are wonderful children.
Mr. Das, you said young people need Krishna consciousness, or in other words, they need some kind of spiritual food or spiritual thought. Now, young people don't really connect so well with religion. At least that's been the story so far. So how do you overcome that?
Of course, I mean the same. Not they need religious food, religious philosophy, but rather they need specific philosophy. Religious philosophy can be anything, but when we mentioning Krishna consciousness, we are specifying what philosophy they need. Once one priest said to Prabhupada, he said, "We have got so many churches, but these are our children born in Christian or Jewish families, but they are not coming to church. Why they are coming to Hare Krishna temple?" Because what we are teaching them is not simply some faith things that I mentioned to you. We are teaching them scientific basis of the culture and the Krishna consciousness. how God is very scientifically exist, how the soul, what is super soul, what is nature, what is karma, what is action and reaction, what is reincarnation, what is time, and how the nature works. So these philosophies, this is not depend on a faith. So when an intelligent child, when you give them, today's youth, they want something scientific, and that scientific, they don't want to know about faith. They want some scientific answers. So when you give them scientific answers, then they take it. So similarly, Krishna consciousness gives them scientific answers. Param dishta nivartate. We give them taste of the pudding is in the pudding. So the youth, they try to stay high in the drugs or all other things. But we tell them when they take this chanting the holy name of Krishna and devotion to Krishna. So
chanting as in like Hare Krishna, Hare Rama.
That is true.
So this is the chanting that you're encouraging them.
That is true. That is true.
As an alternative to doing the drugs.
This is called mantra. What is the problem with the world is actually practically the whole problem with the world is with the mind, because mind wants to enjoy. There's so much pollution in the society. You see that the rivers are polluted, the air is polluted, and the ponds are polluted. Why? Because the pollution is because people don't understand. The public, they think that they want just the mind is not clean. The pollution is happened because our own minds are not clean. So in order to cleanse the process of the mind, if we educate the mind, and even you can go on tell them don't pollute the rivers or don't pollute this environment, even then this keep happening. So but when you cleanse the mind, and that cleaning mind process is chanting Hare Krishna. Because why is it is that because it is. And another thing, when somebody likes to take a drugs or intoxication, same way, another example, because they want their mind have few circles, so they want to have some circles. They want their mind should experience some sort of ecstasy. So but now this is the problem is with the mind, and Lord Chaitanya, who is Krishna himself, he has introduced this formula from the spiritual world. So whatever we do, whatever we see, whatever we experience, whatever we eat, whatever it is around us, everything is material. We are trying to find happiness in the material things, and we are not going to get it. Even we get it, it's a very temporary. We get it, but we lose it because everything is in the temporary. But Lord Chaitanya has introduced one formula which is not creation of the demigods, Brahma or some others. This is not creation of the material world. Golokera Premadan Harinam Sankirtan. He has descended, he brought this 16 words mantra. Mantra means man and tra. Man means mind, tra means to deliver. So the process which can deliver your mind. So the people who are polluting the society with the environment, people who are trying to enjoy them with the mind, the problem is with the mind. So if we deliver the mind with some higher process, then we can solve the problem in the society. We can solve the problem of environment, we can solve the problem of drugs, intoxication, we can solve the problem of prostitution, murder, and all these things. So that process which Lord Chaitanya has introduced, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This is called Maha Mantra. That it is the topmost mantra, topmost process of delivering your mind. So when you start chanting this, you will feel ecstasy, and that's why you see the people in the Oxford Street chanting.
And that's a true high.
You see that with your own eyes. You can try it if you want to see it. I very openly request, not challenge, but of course in a humble way I can even challenge that if you want to experience that ecstasy,
a kind of spiritual
Yeah.
pusher.
Yes, yes. It's like, anything one can say. Well, somebody asked Prabhupada that, you see that in our own devotees, you see every Sunday, or not every Sunday, but every day, twice a day on Oxford Street, London. You may have seen them. You're chanting Hare Krishna's Lord.
Actually, I want to look at those young people because, as you said, a lot of them are Westerners. They, they grew up in families over here,
yes,
and Westerners in the sense they're actually white. Now, looking at that as a group of people, I would say that what attracts them to becoming members of Hare Krishna is the fact that it gives them this completely different lifestyle, something that is almost opposite to what they've been growing up in. As you were saying earlier, that even after 25 years of marriage, we go into some kind of retreat, we go into the forest to find, again, kind of a perspective on life. And I would say that today, young people are growing up very quickly. They're experiencing all kinds of things, even at a very young age. And so therefore, when they get into their 16th, 17th or 18th year, they already are looking for that kind of retreat. And perhaps, you could say, a movement like Hare Krishna offers them that retreat.
Oh, definitely. I mean, I was heard a long time, most of our children, I'm not sure if it's 6 out of 10 or 8 out of 10 children, I'm not sure. It's a long time ago, I heard about 5-6 years ago, that 6 out of 10 children, they taste drugs before the age of 14 in this country. So really they need some alternative. They need to give them something higher, where they experience something higher. So we tell them, okay, we are not giving them faith. We're telling them, okay, let's chant, and you see. And when they start chanting these 16 words, then they lose the taste for drugs and meat eating and illicit sex and gambling and all these sort of things.
Okay, and can you tell us? I mean, singing and dancing plays quite a major role in the lives of young people. What's the role of singing and dancing in Krishna consciousness?
Well, what do you do when you get happy?
Yes, you sing and dance. You celebrate.
You dance, and when you're more happy, you are happy. When you're happy, you, of course, you sometimes you see the people sing in the bathrooms. They feel little happiness.
Yes, I'm one of them.
So, and sometime when you are more happy, people start jumping. You see that, when the people go to some football match or some cricket match or something, and when they felt very joyful when the team is winning, and they jump and they chant their football players' names. So that's exactly the effect happens. So when you start chanting Hare Krishna, you start feeling happy, and when you start feeling happy, you obviously likes to dance. So you chant and you dance. So philosophy is chanting, dancing and feasting.
And it works.
Of course. I mean, otherwise how can you dance? I mean, you can ask anybody, can you dance for 8 hours, 10 hours, 5 hours? Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to dance 24 hours. And even in our Hare Krishna temples, you can practically experience it.
So he would put tonight's nightclubs to shame. A
24-hour. Oh, definitely. Even yes, like even we very follow principles in practicing Krishna consciousness. Getting up early in the morning, 3:30, taking bath, and 4:30 go to the temple and take darshan of the Lord, greeting the Lord. So that time we chant Hare Krishna. So you can most welcome to come to Soho Temple, which is not very far from you.
Yes,
and you can come sometime there, or you can come to the Bhakti Manor, Watford, and you can see that how devotees are chanting and dancing for 3-4 hours without any intoxication, and this is without fail every day. Where the people go to disco once a week, but we chant for Krishna every morning.
So it's an alternative for young people
in definitely.
Today's kind of world of fast music and fast cars and
yes,
definitely. Well, thank you very much again, Mr. Das, for joining us today and sharing with us on this topic.
Thank you very much.
Well, you've been watching The Defining Moment for Creating the Culture of Conscience. If you'd like to see more of our programs, you can find us on the web at www.definingmoment.eu. Thank you very much for watching, and we wish you all the best.